how little do we actually make space to just feel our emotions? I'm just asking because I see that a lot of high performers with perfectionism tend to be on this hamster wheel, running, nonstop, from one place to the other, from one achievement to the other, from one goal to the other, without any space. Space to feel, space to be, space to just experience, right? I know this for myself too, that when I was stuck in perfectionism, this was my trend. Not only was I busy all the time, I even prided myself for being busy. And of course, because we're conditioned to believe that we can carry this sense of busyness as a badge of honor, that we can basically have perfectionism be a gold star, a badge of honor, right? And so I truly have reflected upon this, that it's really valuable to create space, because if there's one thing for sure, it is that we are not going to be ever given space anymore in this world. This is truly up to us, to you and me, to create this space. It takes, subconscious rewiring to begin to actually value space to feel, space to be, space to experience. And it also takes conscious choice, right? Conscious choice to actually cultivate that space, to say, hey, I am promising myself that I am going to, and I'm choosing to, have this space right now to just be here right now, to feel this right now, to experience this thing right now. I think that a lot of us actually might be a little afraid or fearful of feeling, of being, of experiencing. And so because you might be familiar with hustling, working your ass off, being on the grind all the time, then it's unfamiliar for you to actually do quite the opposite of that. But what if I told you that it might not be the complete opposite? What if it might be just a subtle shift in perception of what this space is? What if this space to be, to experience, to simply just ground yourself in the here and now, what if that space actually served you for the better? What if that space actually gave you an opportunity to have ideas and different things pop up from your subconscious to be worked through? What if your greatest, productive ideas actually came in those moments of being in that space? What if that was the case? What if that was the case? What if that space actually gave you an opportunity to also meet others, to connect more deeply with self and others? What if instead of picking up the phone when you're in a cafe, you put it down and just stayed present, drinking your cup of tea or coffee or juice or whatever you're having, right? What if you began to look people in the eyes, connect with people, say hi, and have conversations? It might be that you already do that, but this is just an example. And you might have your go-to. You might have your way of avoiding the present moment, avoiding the space. This is very, very, very typical among high performers. I tell you that. Especially if you've got perfectionism and you have these perfectionistic tendencies of, having this kind of black and white thinking between I need to work, and if I am cultivating space, I'm not working. Well, that is black and white thinking. What if you're actually kind of working in a sense when you are cultivating kind of space? What if that is the case? What if you actually cultivate creativity that way? What if someone comes into your life that you wouldn't have seen coming if you were just consumed in your, busyness? What if instead you stayed present? It's challenging to do that in today's world. It's challenging to say, you know what? I'm going to stop working now. I'm going to go to this place this weekend or this Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it is. And I'm just going to be. I'm just not going to bring my laptop this time. I'm just not going to be on my phone this time. I'm just going to be, to breathe, to watch the ocean, to have conversations with people, to move my body, whatever it might be for you. I invite you to begin exploring this, to create space. Now, here's another thing, too. We don't live in a culture that kind of gives us a lot of time, room, and respect for what we're going through internally. For instance, grief. And when you are, for instance, on the edge to transitioning in your life or making a change or something, oftentimes we don't want to feel that grief of going from one thing till the other or starting one project and going into the other. And so we don't feel the emotions regarding the whole shift, the whole change. And the culture doesn't reward that you take space to actually be with that sense of grief. See? Is that we don't even want to talk about that. We're on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. It never stops, does it? And it's so incredibly crucial to be like, yes, I know I will do amazing things after this thing that I've, wrapped up now, this project or this relationship or this thing that I've got going on. I will do something amazing next after this, but I'm actually going to create the space now to feel this change, to feel the loss, to feel the excitement about something new, to feel the pangs of vulnerability and uncertainty about not knowing what's next. So build in the space because no one else is going to do it for you. In fact, society and culture, and pretty much everyone around you, will probably want you to just get ahead. Go on, do the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. It takes bravery. It takes vulnerability. It takes commitment to say, no, I am going to create and cultivate and be in this space now. This space of uncertainty, this space of transition, this liminal space, right? So, you might not do that, right? And what happens then if you don't make space is that you then leave something that you probably really loved or you probably had put energy into or attention into, and you begin to actually, just leave it without honoring what it is that you loved, without actually giving the tribute that it actually was worthy of. And so instead of kind of walking towards something that can be really great and new and exciting, you then run away from the pain of what it is that you've left or what it is that you have wrapped up or completed or whatever. I don't think that we talk too much about this, do we? About the kind of pain that comes with completing something. It could be that it's a completed project, a completed relationship that basically ran its path, that you've learned so much from, but there's no more lessons to be learned in there. Right? There's so many different ways that we can complete things. Complete one creative expression for the other. And so it takes bravery to stop and to lovingly say, I'm going to be in this space now for a little bit. Reflect upon it, treasure it, cry a bit, smile a bit, write a bit, play some music, have some emotions. And I'm going to just let it be now, without thinking that I should be getting ahead right now, because you should not. So think about what you loved from the previous season that you were in. Think about the skills that you've learned, that you've acquired. And then walk towards something that you love. And so walk towards it, that which you love. In the next season, don't run from the loss of what it is that you're leaving behind or what you've completed now. Sit with it and process it. That's a big part of being able to bloom beyond perfectionism, which is exactly what I support you with, right? That we support you with at Bloom Beyond. Being able to be with yourself. Cultivate space in your day-to-day so that you're no longer running on the hamster wheel of busyness, which is a form of perfectionism, right? Exiting the hamster wheel of grinding and hustling and working your ass off without actually stopping for a moment, for some moments, and actually cultivating presence, being here right now, honoring what it is that you've done, celebrating that, celebrating the ways that you've grown, and then begin to sow seeds for something new as you celebrate. See what I mean? I invite you to join the Bloom Beyond tribe for what I call sunflowers and bloomers, which are high performers with perfectionism who are committed to create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. Together, we can truly create a rebellion against perfectionism. Together, we can truly break free and break out of this hamster wheel that culture has conditioned us to be in, right? And begin to find presence, find peace in creating space. Go to bloombeyond.com/apply to join. It's a 256 members limit on this group. And also, we run monthly cohorts, so make sure to get on the wait list. Once you're in, you get your month with us there, and then you also get access to explore our paid programs too, to be able to fully and completely shift your paradigm and your entire identity from being a perfectionist or having perfectionism and running on the hamster wheel of busyness, right? To actually coming back to presence and cultivating space, right? Until next time, stay bright, brave, and balanced.